often on property Facebook groups and on Facebook and social media, I see a lot of people leaving their day jobs to go full-time into property or their own business of some sort. And this is incredible. The number of entrepreneurs and people who have their own businesses has increased so much over the past 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And it's a really, really positive sign. But one question or one worry that people have when they go from sort of being employed, regimented, 9 to 5, working for the man, into having their own business is, how do I cope with the transition? Like, what kind of tips could people give me that would help me survive, working from home, working alone, doing all these things? So I thought I'd do a video on my personal tips on how to sort of survive this transition and make it as smooth as possible. So 2.5 years ago, I used to work in pharmaceuticals. I used to work in medical communication, so kind of like marketing but for doctors, so the public wouldn't ever see it. I read a book by Ben Goldacre called Bad Pharma. I'd recommend anyone with an interest in like medicines or drugs read it, because it's very, very interesting. I got a bit kind of, disillusioned with the pharmaceutical industry, and lost interest in my job, and it was showing. So got called in by my manager, went downstairs. I saw the HR lady sitting in there. I thought, she's a bit mean anyway. But I just thought, oh God, what have I done now? And she said, sorry, we're going to have to let you go. There wasn't really a reason. It sort of went from 0 to 60. There wasn't even let's talk and see how can we help you improve. It was just, you're going. So it's kind of weird. Maybe there's a court case there, I don't know. But, so I was fired. I was 23, I guess, at the time. I got fired from a job, and I had to come home to an Indian mother to tell her I got fired. So, that was challenging. The silent treatment from her was a lot worse than actually being told off. So, yes, maybe the first step to getting out of work and running your own company is not to get fired. But anyways, blessing in disguise. When they said it, I was so happy, which was weird. Why was I happy? Packed my stuff, picked up my pairs of shoes because I kept them under the table. I like wearing trainers. And all my boxes of food. I eat a lot, so it's quite a bit. I had to trudge home on the train, on the bus, and tell my family. And most were kind of supportive, and I said, you know what, I'm going to start a recruitment company. My friend did it, he was doing really well. I was like, I want a job that what you put in is what you get out. And you can talk to people and network. Little did I know what recruitment's really like in an agency. But that's a different story, that's a different video, right? So, when I transitioned in, I'm a super motivated person. I think I have a good mindset. I think I don't struggle to do things, and I kick myself up the arse to push forward with things. But I struggled so much. I still struggle. I work from home, right? In my grandparents' house where I also live sometimes, and it's a conservatory. Honestly, it looks a bit like this. Not as many plants, but there's quite a few plants still. I love my plants. And it's tough, even to this day, when I work at home, it's difficult. You haven't got someone to bounce ideas off. You haven't got banter, no one to say good morning to, no one to make sure you actually look and dress like an adult when you should, no one to kind of keep you in check apart from yourself and maybe a KPI spreadsheet. I had 2 months of the first year where I didn't make any money, and generally speaking, in recruitment you can make money every month, right? And you should be if you're half decent. But for 2 months, I actually don't know what the hell I was doing, because I was at my desk every day for 2 months, working, but there was no reward. There was nothing coming from it. Actually, to this day, I actually don't know what the hell I was doing. Like, how would I just slump for 2 months? But it can happen, right? But I've since learned the best ways to get rid of it. I'm going to run through tips off the top of my head that come to me. First one, be regimented, have a schedule. Honestly, I had this at times and I was doing so well, and when I didn't have it because I just thought, I'll be fine, I did really badly. And now, as I'm kind of doing property and recruitment, a schedule is incredibly vital. So what I do, and I actually learnt this from, and it's very simple, but I learnt it from a friend called Ryan, who lives up in Dudley. And on my Gmail calendar, which is really easy to use, I literally just block out things. So I put, alright, hour calling agents, 2 hours searching for new properties, 3 hours doing my figures, break here, break here, break here. break for dinner and then come back and I say, cool, 3 hours of doing social media stuff. And for me, it's always up on my screen. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, am I doing the right thing? Why the hell am I on Twitter? I should be calling agents. And it kind of keeps you in check. So have that kind of schedule and that routine. Rob Moore has a book on it, Routine Equals Results. Have I read it? I think I've read it. Check it out, probably quite useful. The second tip is don't worry what others are doing and how they're doing it. Your friends who are employed are going to be working 9 to 5. They're going to get home at 5. They're going to chill, going to watch Netflix, going to have a life, do what they need to do. You don't need to do that. Like, I'm not really productive between 9 and 12. Like, I don't know what the hell happens to those hours. So now I've used them to focus on learning Spanish and to focus on social media and reading and developing myself and networking. And then what I do is I probably work from midday to 10 p.m. or 11 because Love Island Australia is on at 11. Yeah, I watch it. Different story. So, like, do what works for you, man. Like, if I want to work from 7 till 11, I will. I'm not overworking and losing my life. I just work best then. Hey, I might play FIFA at 10 a.m. in the morning. So what? Like, do what you want to do. Don't worry about what other people's schedules are. Like, don't feel guilty either. Like, oh, I must be working from 9 to 5. And it's really hard to get out of that habit. But find what works for you. You might want to work from 4 a.m. till 9 and then, do whatever you need to do, right? The third thing is understand that you are going to have down days. You're going to have down weeks, maybe even down months. But by having a schedule, by having a routine, ensuring that you keep some form of social life, you are hustling, you are working hard, so it might reduce, but keep some social aspect. Eat well, go to the gym, exercise, practice mindfulness, do what you need to do. But you'll probably need to do all these little things on a much bigger scale than when you were employed, because your mind, I see it as your mind is potentially a bit more fragile when you're kind of working from home, working alone. Being lonely. As humans, we're social creatures. We want to be with people. However introvert someone is, or however much of a spreadsheet or video gamer someone is, they probably still like some human interaction. So make sure you keep that, because it will keep you sane throughout the months and years of being by yourself and having no one to bounce ideas off. Another tip is get a business partner, or get an accountability partner. Me and my friend Josh, we hold each other accountable, which we haven't done in a while, so we need to get back on that. But, you need people who are going to say to you at the end of the week, you told me you were going to do this, what have you done, mate? And if you haven't, maybe give you a bit of a telling off, or whatever works for you, right? Because your mind will let you get away with things. You'll think, oh, you know what, I made a bit of money this month, I did a deal, I'm alright, I can just chill. And that's cool if that's your success and that's what you want to be, that's fine. But if you don't want that, then you need someone to push you that little extra edge. I'm not saying go pay for courses that will keep you accountable. Yeah, keep you accountable. Just like hit up a friend, ask me. I'll happily nag you. I'm a recruiter, it's my job. I will happily nag you and make sure you do things, right? And that's what you do for people in your network. In terms of the logistical side, if you're going to work from home, set up a nice office space. Make it nice, whatever nice is for you. It could be bright orange, bright pink, bean bags everywhere, succulents, cacti, bonsai tree, have a little bonsai tree. Whatever works for you, like, do it, it's your office. If you're going to work from out of the office, have different places you go to, right? Check that, they're cool with you sitting there all day and ordering a few drinks and working, and they have good Wi-Fi, and speak to others and maybe use flexible working solutions, right? Have that kind of sorted before, so you know what you're doing, so there's no logistical worries, right? And in terms of money, it's different for everyone. I would say have enough money saved up that you could live a year, mortgage, bills, car insurance, everything, clothes, fancy Italian cheese if you like that, whatever your outgoings are, track them in a spreadsheet, make sure you have enough to cover them and a little bit more in case your car breaks down or something goes wrong. I would say have a year's. I'm being super, super careful, and I guess I'm fortunate enough that I've saved for so long that I do have a year's worth of kind of living at a basic level. But probably more realistically, 6 months is probably okay. It depends what you're doing. If you're deal packaging and you're doing things that could potentially bring in cash flow sooner, like SA or rent to rent, then you can play around with it, right? Just fit it to your strategy. I think those cover most of the tips that I can think of off the top of my head. This is a one-take video, no editing, nothing. This is just me throwing sort of what I've learned from being self-employed at you. So I hope that helps. And remember, don't compare yourself to others. Don't judge by others' progress. You know, we're all in different leagues. We're all in different races. You know, and enjoy the journey.